Today on Tuesday's topic, I'm visiting with Jay Worley from Cherokee Recreation and Parks. Jay has been on the Parks and Rec team. Just this last month, he celebrated 15 years with CRPA. But right after Thanksgiving 2019, he had a new opportunity, and that was to move into the director's position with CRPA. So, Jay, I know it's a little late that now we're rolling into May, but congratulations. I've seen you since and talked to you, but to be able to publicly say congratulations and job well done, I'm excited for you.
Well, thank you. It's certainly been a whirlwind since the end of the year.
Yes, hasn't it?
Obviously, till the changes happen. So it's certainly had a challenging entrance to this.
That's a great way to look at it. But it's almost like somebody had a premonition that they knew they needed to bring somebody into the role that understood the structure of CRPA. They didn't have to learn where the parks were or who the people were. And so that premonition has paid off because you just kept right on working during all this unprecedented time. And that's what I want you to share with us today, how Parks and Rec has just kept right on working during all of this. I know the parks have been open. There's some other things that are a part of the CRPA system that are going to be opening very soon. I will say that the Chamber is supportive in distributing Play Cherokee. And this is the information that is about everything Parks and Rec in Cherokee County. So I wanted you to be sure to mention that so people know that all are forced to play in Cherokee. But share today on Tuesday's topic about what things look like for Parks and Rec and how going forward we're going to be able to get out even more.
Sure. So when the pandemic hit us, the first part of last month, we knew we were going to play a big role in this because people still had their routines and still needed to exercise and still needed to get out and be active. So we had done a great deal of research working with our partners at Georgia Recreation and Parks and the National Parks Association, and then even looking in the literature that CDC had provided, that we knew that trails and open spaces and things like that were going to be a critical part of people kind of maintaining their mental health through all of this. So we have done our part, and our guys have continued to maintain the parks at a high level, and we've kept everything open. The only thing that really changed at one point was we had to close the indoor facilities, which really meant the aquatic center and the pools.
Right.
And we closed the playgrounds and the athletic fields because we felt like those were areas where the disease could be spread, or the virus could be spread a little bit more prominently. But as the governor has allowed us to get back to some business, we're going to open up the athletic fields this weekend.
Oh, great.
For unstructured play. It doesn't mean that we're going to schedule games, practice, things like that, but it does allow mom and dad to get out on the ball field with their kid and stuff and kind of, start easing back into this, so to speak, a little bit. But we're still several weeks away, if not longer, from really getting back to full operations with the aquatic center and just day camps and programs in general.
Okay. So as far as summer camp, and I know that's on people's minds because I actually saw something in the media this morning about with the state working now to gradually reopen. Parents that have been at home with their children who have been home from school now for weeks, parents are saying, oh my gracious, what am I going to do? I've got to think about childcare. I've got to think about summer programming. What does that look like for y'all? I know summer camps, that's a major source of revenue, and you have a great team that works within that particular program, but what does that look like for y'all?
So you really summed it up. It's certainly going to be a challenge for a lot of families when they do get back to work. What kind of childcare are they going to be looking at? So we're still kind of working through that on our end. We absolutely anticipate on hosting summer camps throughout the county, but our model may be changing based on what's available in the school district, because we normally rent out a couple of facilities from them and we use the rec center here. So we may be looking at expanding out into the community rooms, which are in the local fire stations. We have 6 of those, I believe. So we may be having to expand into those, be a little bit more diverse throughout the county. But our groups are going to be smaller, certainly. And that's going to be dictated by, what the White House tells us and what the governor tells us on what size groups that we can maintain and safely operate with, so to speak.
Right. At which phase are we going to be in at that time? I completely understand. And you all, like so many, and like the chamber, we're working outside the box. You're just having to be creative. In fact, a call I was on earlier was about being creative and being relevant. And so you're being creative because, yes, you're relevant, and your point is well taken. You know, just looking at your background right now, and I know it's the trees outside of your offices on Highway 5 in Woodstock, but it makes people want to be outside. The weather has definitely, I think, helped people in that mental stability and that encouragement at the state and federal level to get out to walk. You know, we weren't banned to our homes. We might be safe sheltering, but we were encouraged to be out. And I think that that's important for our children too, that they can be out and have some normal type of summer. But one population that I'm curious about too, Jay, is I know that y'all have a great program for seniors in the community, and they travel a lot. What has that been like, not to be able to load up the bus and take them to one of their favorite destinations?
Well, you know, so we've been in a little bit of a transition with the new senior center. You know, they've got an expansion up on Univetter Road. So they, of course, have still been in construction, and they're getting ready to open that any day now. You actually may know the ribbon cutting date on that better than me, but I know that we're moving furniture in there.
Very soon, yes.
Our staff have been helping on a weekly basis, along with some of the other departments in the county, with delivering Meals on Wheels to those seniors. But as far as the group that likes to get out and travel, that's another task that we're trying to tackle right now, trying to figure out how we can still serve that population and, again, keep that mental stability with all of us. You know, we got to have some sanity, because if we were all locked up in the house, we've seen all the memes about, you know, the dogs are trying, you know, the dog runs out of the house when the door opens and all that stuff. Right. We're trying to get creative and understand that we all have to get back to some normalcy to some degree, and the senior population is certainly a big part of that for us.
Most definitely. And waiting now until May 13th for those directives on when they can get back to some typical routine as well. One last thing that I want to mention is we've both been around a long time, and, you know, we grow accustomed to things being the way they are. So I am prone to going to the computer keyboard and typing in crpa.net. And that takes me to your website, and I can find out all about parks and programming all over Cherokee County. I don't go to crpa.net anymore, do I?
That's right. That's right. So fortunately, I was able to inherit some things that Brian Reynolds had already gotten in place, and part of that was the marketing plan and rebranding. So a couple of months back, we had rebranded the website. We rebranded the brochure that you've already shown. We just launched a new logo a couple of weeks ago that had been a really fun process to be a part of. But yeah, so our new website is playcherokee.org. So we're really branding, you know, get out and play. And play can mean a multitude of things in this time and era. So we're really encouraging that word. And when you come to the rec center at some point, you'll see play plastered all over the building now. But yeah, we're really trying to push everyone to get outside, but also pushing everyone to the new website.
Fantastic. Well, I am a creature of habit. You have already told me that I can use crpa.net until the end of the year, but I'm going to try to be better. I think if we focus in on that word, play, and we want to play in Cherokee, so it's just playcherokee.org.
Yes, ma'am.
Easy as that. So as you're looking for things to do out and about in the county, as we return to some sort of normal, as businesses begin to reopen and our world goes back to maybe the way that we liked it better, why don't you consider playing too? Doesn't have to be all about work. And consider playing right here in Cherokee County. And so to find out how you can do that through the Cherokee Recreation and Parks Agency, that's a mouthful, CRPA, visit playcherokee.org. So Jay, thank you for all that you do, for the team that you manage. Be able to have pride in the fact that you really did move into a position that was meant for you. And I think that the team should feel very fortunate to have you leading them. Of course, Brian Reynolds that you mentioned is still around, and Brian is, for those viewers that don't know, Brian is in a community role now, still with the county, but he gets to still be a part of things like Parks and Rec, Senior Services, CATS, which is the Cherokee Area Transportation System. Maybe you'll tell him that this wasn't so hard, and maybe he'll decide to be on our Tuesday topic show at some point. But we appreciate you and the partnership that the Chamber and Parks and Rec have. And I hope your family is doing well and staying healthy, and that I can see you face to face and not on the other side of the computer screen very soon.
Right.
Thank you, Jay. I'm Pam Carnes, President and CEO of the Cherokee County Chamber of Commerce, and thanks for joining us today on Tuesday's topic.